Good morning, fans, and thank you for joining us. We're set for NWAC Men's South Division Soccer, South Region Soccer, as the Rogue Community College Ospreys play host to the Portland Community College Panthers. With a victory, the Ospreys can clinch the South Region as they sit 1 point ahead of Lane in the standings. Meanwhile, Portland Community College would love nothing more than to play the spoiler role here today. As you can see on your graphic, they come in with a record of 2 wins, 7 defeats, and 1 draw. I'm Jim McCoy. On the camera today is Colton Treadway, and it is my pleasure to welcome special guest and color commentator Justin Young, coming all the way to us from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Welcome to the broadcast today.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm extremely excited to be here. I cannot wait for this game between the Ospreys and the Panthers today.
Well, now, of course, I know that you and Dustin Donnelly, who will be, looks like probably coming in on a reserve role, that Coach Millick is going to use this occasion to rest a number of his starters, including Dustin and so forth. But I know from a distance you've been following a bit of the Ospreys as the season has progressed. And what have been some of your impressions of the team as you've met some of the players and you've had a chance to watch them play via video stream along the way?
Yeah, this is one tight-knit bunch. They love hanging out outside just the games. They were all at the women's volleyball game last night, which I also went to. They're just very tight-knit. They love each other. It does not matter. There's no, pecking order in terms of their friendship. They are all very close friends.
All right, the teams are gathered out on the pitch, doing the European-style walkout onto the field. You've got the Panthers in their blue uniforms with white numerals. Meanwhile, the Ospreys in their whites with blue numerals. So you got very similar color schemes. And today, you know, once again, that this is going to be a big match for the Ospreys. I think, obviously, you know, it's kind of that blend of you don't want to take the match lightly. You want to respect the opponent regardless what their record is coming in. And I don't know. I think soccer is one of those games, not unlike baseball, that if you get a stray shot that finds its way into the back of the net and you're a team that finds itself chasing the game, suddenly the complexion of it all changes, and you could find yourself coming up short on a result if you're not careful.
Oh, absolutely, especially because today in the Medford area, it was raining all morning. You know, this turf here, it's going to be pretty wet, pretty slippery. We might see some slips that could lead to advantage for Portland, could lead to advantage for Rogue. You never know.
Absolutely. What we're going to do right now, we're going to go ahead and take a quick timeout and recognize our sponsors. Then we'll be back. We'll get ready for today's match here on TableRockSports.net.
RCC provides a unique learning education experience where they don't just teach you the head knowledge so that you come out understanding your craft, but they also give you the hands-on experience where you can end up mastering your craft. Taking the first step is the best thing that you could do for your life. So contact RCC today, schedule a tour so that you can begin your journey so that your dreams can become your reality as well. I found my path at RCC.
I love being a nurse, and RCC was the best way for me to start as a nurse. There's so many options for nursing pathways and healthcare jobs. I'm just so grateful that through RCC's nursing program, I was able to be a successful ICU nurse right out of the gate. Becoming a nurse through RCC changed my life. So I encourage anyone who's looking for a change in your personal or professional path to check out RCC. I found my path at RCC.
Welcome back to Gary H. Wheeler Field. As Justin alluded to just a little bit earlier, it's been a rainy morning here in the Rogue Valley, and things kind of a little wet and sloppy, even out on the artificial turf. But right now, we've got a little bit of sun breaking through the clouds, and both teams on the pitch getting set to go. And the whistle blows, and the match is underway. Portland with early control. Talking with Michael Muchakian, defender for the Ospreys. It sounds like, Justin, what we're expecting is that this is not a big scoring Portland squad, but a team that will try to win balls out of the air, and maybe set pieces are going to be something important for them today.
Absolutely, and Rogue has sort of countered that. They're not starting their leading scorer. They're going for a very heavy, tall defensive team.
Right now, the ball in the air. Mwanthi, who's been brilliant at goalkeeper this year, fields the ball out of the air, hands off to Kauka, goes left side to Sammy Bayer. They'll work it around the horn over to the right side to Muchakian. The men in blue playing back a little bit, playing off the defenders. Bayer up the left side. You can see he's looking downfield and trying to work that into the direction of a teammate, and it will be Portland ball.
Yeah, I believe that was Andre Stanicki who was trying to get it to. Fortunately, I believe that was offsides.
So Portland with the ball. Number 24 for the Panthers is Evan Faulkner. Faulkner, one of the center backs, along with number 37, Christian Anibo. Throw in for the Ospreys over across from us. Inbound play. Knocking it away, out of bounds. This will allow the defense to set up as the Ospreys get set to throw.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to really see who generates the offense for this Ospreys team.
Well, you mentioned, of course, we talked about Dustin Donnelly not in the lineup today. Also, not starting today's leading scorer, Mason Klipfel.
Yeah, and he has 10 goals on the season, 20 points. The next leading scorer is Jesus Duarte with 3 goals, so it's a very big drop-off not having Klipfel in there today.
Steal by Portland, but Muchakian there to run in front of it. Gutsy play there by Mwanthi, but I've always said you don't have to be crazy to be a goalkeeper, but it kind of helps.
Oh, absolutely. You can't just kind of stand there and wait for the ball to come to you. You have to attack it, so the offense can have less angles to really get the ball past you.
Well, and then, when you make that play, you got to make sure you make it happen, that you execute, and he did so there. Right now, the Ospreys come into the match seeking their 7th victory in a row, so they're really on a roll right now. They've racked up 6 clean sheets along the way this season, and the story that tells us is this is an Osprey team that has played good defensive soccer throughout the year.
Yeah, this is one hot team coming into it. Kind of the opposite story for PCC, the Panthers today, but as you said earlier in the pregame, they would love nothing more than to spoil this RCC team currently.
Osprey throw, and they're working deep in the defensive third for the Panthers. Little tap in, and that is knocked away. It'll go out of bounds. Goal kick for the Ospreys. Here, opening moments of the match, kind of in that early feeling out stage. They're on the back line.
And that's
Christian Anibo.
Yeah, that is a miscue right there for Anibo. That is just giving them a free corner kick. That is not what you want to do if you're this PCC team.
No, well, one of the guys you have to watch, and again, in terms of looking for maybe where the Ospreys may have some offensive sources, would be you got to watch for a tall guy like Muchakian who can knock in a header for a score.
Absolutely.
So for the Ospreys, their first corner kick of the match. Right in front of the net. They're heading it out. Daniel Asiev. Upfield and taken away by Kauka. My observation of the Ospreys, Ben, in terms of defensive intensity, this team may be the most defensively intense team that the program has had in their relatively short history.
Oh, absolutely. As you mentioned earlier, the 6 clean sheets, they pride themselves on their defensive intensity.
Muchakian will go ahead and take it on the right side. Work it upfield. Ricky a part of that starting lineup. Also in the midfield, Duarte. Silverin Larson there for the Ospreys, and he's just going to go work it back to Kauka. Ospreys practicing early patience here in the match. And now big long through ball upfield. Looking for Raul Garcia. Garcia wearing number 11 for the men in white.
Yeah, RCC is just being really cautious though in the game. They do not want to give any unearned opportunities to the Panthers here.
Well, you know that will be that kind of care with the ball that's going to be important to them come playoff time when that NWAC tournament comes up.
Yep.
Kicking it out of the back. Roper, the goalkeeper. Won by RCC. Garcia had it for a moment, but it is taken away. Larson, middle of the pitch, looking up the middle, but it is taken by the Panthers. Number 12 is Trung Ngia. Up the right side, Oliver Paisley, wearing 33. Then tap back to Travis Avery.
And if PCC wants to pull off the upset here, it's going to be Paisley. He's going to have to really get in there and force some shot opportunities for this team.
Coming into the match today, looking at the South Region standings for the Ospreys, they have scored 23 goals on the season and allowed only 10. Coming into the match, Portland with just 7. And I believe you got the sheet there, but I believe their leading scorer for the season has 4.
Yes, 4 goals for number 33, Oliver Paisley.
Portland with the ball, working up the right side. They'll try to work at center for Ngia. Anebo. And now the Ospreys with the takeaway. Out of bounds on the play.
Yeah, and that's number 11, Raul Garcia in there in the mix, lovingly known by his teammates as RG.
All right. Raul getting some early playing time today, getting the start, and RCC right now holding serve, and they win the ball back. Larson on it. Little 1v1 battle going on there. Foul called on the play. Free kick awarded to the Ospreys. Estaniki wearing 14 for the Ospreys. Now a takeaway by the Panthers. Paisley up the middle of the pitch. They try to work it over to the right wing, but it is taken away by Melgar. He'll work the left side, gets it past Kobe Ibarra. Little diagonal pass, looking in the direction of Garcia. Maybe just a little weak tad heavy on the touch.
Yeah,
as it works back to Roper, the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Melgar is another one of those players who hasn't really gotten that much playing time this season, but in this game, give him the chance to start here.
Keeping their powder dry. Now, one thing I would tell you, for you Osprey fans watching along the way, it'll be sophomore day coming up on Wednesday of this week. And so as they work their way into that later portion of the schedule, this is where some of those younger players get an opportunity to show what they can do coming off the bench, because you never know when you're going to need them. And then on top of that, get some well-deserved rest for some of the other guys that have logged major minutes over the season.
Yeah, and right there we saw Travis Avery slip on the turf. We mentioned earlier that it's pretty wet out here today. That's definitely a factor to consider.
Bayer with the ball. He'll send it back for one of his center backs, Kauka. Larson, right straight up the middle. Little one-touch there by Garcia. Ball downfield, controlled by the Ospreys. There's Ibarra with a look, but Roper is there to corral it as the Ospreys look to try to get on the board.
I believe they called offsides on Ibarra there.
The flag comes out, and that's one of those things where sometimes for a team like this, one of the things will keep our eye out for is maybe the idea of playing a high defensive line to draw those offside calls. Ricky over there with the ball, over near the Panther bench. Portland, coached by Roberto Mestretti, assisted by Brian Sybil and Roberto Kirilovich. Free kick for the Ospreys.
And this is one of those times to look out. The height of this Ospreys team, maybe get a lucky header.
It could very well be. Muchakian especially has found his way on that. And they don't list heights, but he's got to be around a good 6'4". And of course, sure enough, he has a look. There it is, saved by Portland. They'll try to knock it back, and there with a quick look is number 14, Andre Estaniki. But the Panthers emerge unscathed.
Exactly as you said, went to Muchakian in that situation. It was a great play, just the shot did not fall that time.
Well, Faulkner, Roper with it along the back. Now over Nebo. He tries to work it left side. The Ospreys poke it away. Certainly seems in terms of possession, it's been pretty even between the two squads early on.
Yeah, I will say it seems that the Ospreys have had maybe a little more chances. You know, they have already had 2 offsides calls, you know, and with those potentially going the other way, it could be looking at a different score right now. But early on, it definitely seems that both teams have done a decent job possessing the ball.
Well, certainly, and of course that's where usually always that the story of time of possession is a bit deceptive. But yeah, like you say, in terms of even possession, but the Ospreys a little bit more time in the attacking third of the pitch.
Absolutely.
And now it is Portland on the move. No sooner than I say that, but it is taken away by Ibarra. Ibarra controls, dishes left, or Melgar. Bayer with it now, Duarte. We'll survey the field. Duarte going to send it back to Kauka.
Ospreys looking to set up their offensive attack currently.
Muchakian gives it a good strong boot. And that'll end up bouncing into the arms of Joey Roper.
And Roper's been a busy man these first couple of minutes.
He indeed has. The big high goal kick and a little tumble there.
Yep, that's Sammy Bayer falling to the ground there. Interesting enough, from the United Kingdom, it turns out.
It's always interesting to me you wouldn't think at the JUCO level you would see a lot of international players, but all over NWAC, whether you're talking about Portland and even here at RCC, that quite an international flavor to both of these rosters.
Yep, absolutely.
Tapia had it for a moment, and now it's the Ospreys on the move. We got a little 1v2 action going on. Estaniki trying to split his way between a pair of Panther defenders. And I want to invite you to stay tuned at halftime for stats and updates brought to you by the Medford Parks and Recreation Department. The Fall Activities Guide is out now with sports leagues, classes, and activities for all. Visit playmedford.com to learn more. 0-0. We're in the 15th minute of the first half. Scoreless match so far. Ospreys with a couple of looks, couple of offside calls, and now Portland on the attack, but they have it quickly taken away. Ibarra with it now, trying to control it, looking right. Ricky with it. He's met there by Cole Feuerbacher. Feuerbacher wearing number 41.
And that's happened a couple of times for PCC, where they get into that attacking zone, but it's quickly taken away by these rogue defenders.
Well, I tell you what, they're just not going to give you any chances if they can help it one way or the other. Bayer sends it up line, looking for Melgar. Inside to Duarte. Duarte, a little pooch kick in the air. Ricky there over on the right side. It'll end up out of bounds. And it'll be a throw-in for the Panthers.
Good idea with the pooch pass down there, but unfortunately it did not go how it was supposed to be intended for the Ospreys.
RCC coming in with an overall record of 8-2-2 in the South region. They're 6-1-1, identical to Lane, but you'll recall that the Ospreys and the Titans, in their 2 matches this year, the Ospreys hold the tiebreaker, having won 1 and drawn 1.
Yeah.
So here today, opportunity to take care of business and cinch it up as they look toward the postseason.
Yeah. And the Ospreys technically don't even need to win the game. If Lane loses today, they are out of the number 1 seed.
Larson with the ball, dishing right. Michael looking for Ricky. He runs onto it, settles it, trying to shake the defender there. Asiev. Little bit of traffic.
That was a great individual effort from Ricky there to get past all of those defenders.
A hard-working player, and I love the work ethic. I love the intensity, the fire that I see from the squad. That this is a team with a real love for the game. So for the Ospreys, their second corner kick of the match. Lefty touch. Well played right there in the middle of traffic. Man down for the Ospreys. And that looks like that might be Sammy Bear over there. Well, they look after him. I just want to give a little shout out and thanks to our sponsors for making today's coverage possible, including the Lithia Superstore on Highway 62. Your home for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles and trucks. Our title sponsor, Lithia Superstore.
Yep, thankfully, Bayer's able to get back up, and he's ready to play.
All right, little goal kick here for the Panthers, working out of the back. Travis Avery looking up line. Kalka there for the Ospreys. Trying to run onto it for Portland is Eben Tapia. Panther ball. They'll send it right for Travis Avery. Send it back. Looks like they're trying to establish an attack, but there again, quickly, RCC getting onto it now. Garcia back for Duarte. Sends it left to Ibarra. And here comes Ricky. Ricky going to try to run onto that ball. Look like he's trying to set up for a cross, but he ends up falling to the turf. Taken by Ngia.
And that's interesting. We see Ricky on the other side of the field from his original formation there. He's a really versatile player.
And he has gotten his fair share of touches here early on in the match. Here with the free kick is Faulkner. Faulkner looking up the middle of the field, and there to get a head on it is Kalka.
I believe they called a handball on him.
So with that, that'll set up the free kick for Ngia. They're like, no, you need to go, you come back here and kick it. And as we mentioned earlier, these are the kind of opportunities that Portland will be looking for in terms of lofting it in the air and getting one of their taller players to get his noggin on it. But this one will sail over the head of Cole Feuerbacher.
Strong kick by Nagia there. Definitely not what he was aiming for.
So Mwanthi sends it out for Muchakian. Ospreys showing early deliberation. Everybody on the back line getting a touch here in this run of play.
A very unselfish ball being played by the Ospreys currently.
Muchakian looking upfield. Has a couple of potential targets out there. Ricky trying to run onto it. He'll battle for the ball. Also there is Ibarra. And there with a heads-up play defensively, the goalkeeper Roper just happened to be kind of in the right spot at the right time. And that'll set up a corner kick for the Ospreys.
Yeah, the defensive back line for the PCC team kind of just fell apart there at the end, leading to a free shot that Roper was able to save.
Well, let's see how it goes from the left side of the Osprey attack. They'll fire it into the middle. But out in the open play, running onto it, is Duarte. Ricky sends it left. Kobe Ibarra controls. And nice diagonal shot fielded on the bounce by Roper.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of shots from this Ospreys team, but not necessarily a lot of quality shots thus far.
And that'll be booted upfield. Panthers trying to run onto it. Otto Paisley sends it to the middle. And Gia. And here, a little bit of danger for the Ospreys. They'll fire it across the face of the goal. It bounces. And that there probably the biggest danger that the Ospreys have faced so far in the match.
Yeah.
And here with the header, that is Otto Paisley. And over the goal, over the frame, and it'll be a goal kick for RCC.
That has been a common theme so far for the PCC team. We saw earlier with the free kick, that was too strong. That center over from the right corner, that was too strong. And even that header went over the goal.
Kauka taps it over for Muchakian. We're now 20 minutes into the match. Kauka will send it over left side. And again, Ospreys just taking time in their build-up. Duarte with it, gets a little pressure. Maintains control. And he'll send it back for Bayer.
Both teams just feeling each other out so far.
And right now, Larson looking to the right side. Can't connect. Had Melgar over on that side. So it looked like from what you mentioned earlier, Justin, that Ricky and Melgar have switched sides in the attack.
Yes.
Roper fields the ball, surveys the pitch. I want to remind you that before or after the game is a great time to visit Dutch Bros and enjoy your favorite beverage. Dutch Bros support the communities and that support them. And for over 60 years, here is a shot deflected off of Mwanthi, and it ends up rolling out of bounds.
And that was Otto Paisley there. Really just kind of snuck behind the Ospreys defense. Seemed like nobody was really back there.
And now this will set up a corner kick for the Panthers. And over there is Ibn Tapia. He'll loft the kick. Ospreys get a head on it. Booting it out, RCC. Portland quickly recovers. Tapia crosses it over. Nice looking pass. And some contact. That goes beyond what the head ref will allow. And now it is Osprey ball running onto it is Estaniki. But getting there first is Roper. Flag in the air, and of course that gets a little bit of protestation from the Panther bench.
Yeah, Estaniki there, he wanted to settle it to be able to run up to it, but he just kicked it a little bit too far. Roper, a heads-up move, as we saw, being aggressive. And, yeah, they had a little collision there. Looks like Roper definitely got the worst of it.
Calling for the trainer. The man down is Joey Roper. So he'll come out and look after him. And we'll go ahead and this looks like this will be an opportunity for the Ospreys to. We got a couple players getting set to come into the match. But let's go ahead and take a quick 30-second timeout while they tend to Roper, and then we'll be right back on TableRockSports.net.
Sports are in trouble, and officials are in extreme demand.
So we're looking for people like you, former athletes,
parents, and community members.
What it takes is attention to detail,
a positive attitude, and respect for the game.
Anyone who can manage the game and stick with it.
because the hard truth is,
No ref, no game. Play ball.
Back here at Gary H. Wheeler Field, part of the Lithia Driveway Complex. Encouraged to see Joey Roper up on his feet. I think probably at this point, and just checking in as far as things like concussion protocol would be a guess, just making sure he's okay. And
currently, he does not look to be in the condition to come back into this game.
no, it looks like right in the middle run of play, we'll end up seeing substitution into the match for the Panthers.
And the backup goalie is freshman Omar Alba Flores. He has only played in one game so far this season, but he might get a chance here with Roper sidelined.
Looks like Roper might be trying to make his case to remain in the match.
And these players, they do not want to come out of this game whatsoever. It's just
No.
it's just a matter on if the training staff is like forcing him to come out.
And Roper making his way back towards his station. He's out there running a little bit with his teammate, Angel Villalobos Garcia. Today's game is brought to you by the Southern Oregon Sports Commission's Know Your Role campaign, promoting respectful behavior at youth sporting events, and by Hart Insurance, providing personal and business coverage in Grants Pass and Medford.
And Roper is going to stay into this game. When he got hit, I was not sure if he'd be able to stay in, but he's back on his feet, and he is ready to go.
Looks like he's probably answered all the questions correctly, and looks like he's set to give it a go. It's like you say, probably especially this deep in the season now, and not much left, and with the season coming to a soon end for the Panthers, that Joey Roper wants to be a part of every minute of it that he can.
Absolutely.
And then on top of that, you mentioned earlier, backup keeper Omar Alba Flores, probably a player at this point, needing some seasoning, some experience, and want to keep him on ice for a little bit. So play resumes. Roper kicks it away, looking like nothing wrong there. We end up with a collision at midfield.
And that was Jorte.
Along with Daniel Aseev. And Gia controlling it, looking left, poked away by Duarte. Now up the middle of the pitch. Ospreys couldn't quite get there in time. Travis Avery, number 35, dishes off. Now long, high, diagonal kick. And there with the clearance, Michael Muchakian.
It seems like the tides have sort of turned. Early in the game, it felt like RCC was really on the attack, but now PCC is getting some quality looks.
They sure are, and right now, these last few minutes, if you're an Osprey fan, have been kind of dangerous. And that's where I think, not unlike basketball, sometimes soccer can be a game of runs where, it looks like one team has momentum going, a couple of things. Who knows? It can be a touch or it can be something somewhere along the line and change the flow and the momentum, and suddenly it looks like the other team has got the edge.
Yeah, and for me, it's kind of noticed has been Sammy and Ricky switching sides.
Yes. And here, ball in the air. Panther defender getting ahead on it. Faulkner, he gets in there, gets in the mix, and gets a boot on it. Ricky trying to win it away from Oliver Paisley. Ricky there halts, feeds it for Ibarra. There's Larson. Little two-man game going on there. Now over to the right side. And it is taken away. Feuerbacher for Portland. He's got it, works his way up the sideline. RCC with defensive numbers.
And that pass a little long there from Feuerbacher, but that's still an impressive move for him to get past that defender, especially at his size.
It's amazing to watch what these players can do. When you think about their growth as players from their days as youth players, and when they get to that point where they have that strength and control at the same time. A couple of substitutions on. Familiar face to you, an old middle school buddy of yours, Dustin Donnelly.
Yep.
Coming on for the Ospreys.
Him and Mason Klipfeld both subbing in here. Looks like they really want to get their offense going.
Try to see if they can't get out front. So we've got Donnelly over here on the left wing. Klipfeld at striker. Ball knocked away. And it will be a Panther throw.
And I was able to get a quote from Dustin Donnelly before the game started. He said the main thing he was looking for is just improvement on his own game.
All right. Well, he's definitely been a big part of attack, sophomore this year. Yep. And been one of those. One of the things I really love about this team, Justin, is that it's not just one guy.
No.
And, of course, you can't be successful and have one guy doing everything, but it's a team that a lot of unity on it and a lot of guys who contribute in various ways.
Yeah, and Klipfel is the leading scorer, that is for sure. But after that, they have a bunch of guys who at least have one goal, with Duarte, Muchakian, Estaniki, even Dustin has one, They're a team that very much can do it by committee.
And Gia trying to run there, but also running onto it. Estaniki for the Ospreys. He controls it. And Estaniki, one of those guys that's a lot of fun to watch on the ball.
He is a fiery spirit over there.
Little feed inside. Larson with it now. Lefty boot up the middle. Duarte. And it'll end up rolling away harmlessly if you happen to be a Panther fan. We're here in the 34th minute of the first half. And it looking like, Donnelly just gets past him. Oliver Paisley. So we have Oliver Paisley, who wears 33. Otto Paisley, 34. Here in the corner, it is Klipfeld with it, looking for goal number 11 on the season. Ibarra stretches that leg out. Now it bounces away, and it's the Panthers trying to counter here. And now it looks like we got a 1v1, and the pass from Paisley. He was looking left for Tapia. A little far out in front of him. Yeah. And once again, the Ospreys kind of escape.
Yeah. And we saw with Clipville there down near the goal line is that he kind of did provide a spark on the offense, and even though they did not get the outcome that they wanted to, it's encouraging, although they have turned it over.
Osprey turnover. Faulkner looking right side to Paisley. His pass broken up by Larson. Knocked out of bounds. And it looks like this is going to be... Looks like it's going to be a corner for the Panthers by our unofficial count. The second of the half.
One thing I'm noticing from the Osprey team is that they really don't want the PCC attackers to have possession of the ball for any long-standing period of time. They're really attacking them.
Well, you contrast that to the Panthers, who seem to be playing off the ball and a little bit less pressure. It's like, hey, if you want to work it around the back, we'll let them do it all day long. Now a collision at the middle of the pitch. And judging by the reaction, Estaniki, the call not going his way.
Yeah, although he did not use his hands there. A very sneaky move. He definitely did hip check him there.
So it'll be a free kick for Portland. They'll send it left side. Firebacher. And there to clear is Muchakian. Travis Avery, number 35. Now Clipfell races to the ball.
That is very good defense from Christian Anebo there, especially against a speedy guy like Clipfell.
Now they'll try to work it middle, try to run onto it. Can't get there in time is Ibarra. Pace of play starting to pick up here in the later moments of the first half.
Could be part of Donnelly and Clipfell checking into the game here for RCC.
Right there, they try to work it middle. Breaking it up is Villalobos. Pacalca quickly there. Now, a little foot race upfield. And they'll try to work it in the middle. Whistle blows. Call will go the way of the RCC Ospreys.
Excellent job by Muchakian there to not necessarily embellish, but draw the call.
Well, there's no question about it. There's always a little bit of gamesmanship involved. And, some would say maybe in this case Muchakian working on his sales career.
He is a tall guy, a big guy. For him to fall down like that probably would have taken more than what actually happened.
Here's Ibarra controlling it. And now trying to run onto it. Can't get there in time. Estaniki. This one will bounce out of play. And here's Roper. Faulkner will go ahead and do the honors here. And pops it up near midfield. Duarte there for the Ospreys. Larson up the middle. And again, it looks like the Ospreys are really starting to get vertical here late in the first half.
Absolutely. We see Severin Larson there really controlling the middle of the field well for the Ospreys.
Few bounces. Muchakian looking right. Now they'll send it to Duarte. Trying to get there is Clipfell. Anebo there with the defense.
And that's Anebo again. He's doing very well individually against Clipfell.
Well, and he's got that body, that perfect defender's body, especially one of being a center back. He's a big guy, hard to bring down, and also can use that length to deflect balls on the clearance.
That is the exact archetype that you want back there.
Little conversation between the officials and the AR. Well, looking here like it's going to go ahead and be a throw-in for Travis Avery and the Panthers. Now, just as quickly, it goes the other way.
It looked like there was a conversation between the referees that it actually went out on a deflection on the Ospreys, but PCC quickly turns it back over.
Ibarra taps it back. Bayer looking inside. Duarte poked away by Ngia. Now quickly up the pitch. Kalka there. Larson. Bayer taking his time. Now we got some pressure coming from Portland.
It appears that RCC is being more slow and methodical with their offensive approach, with PCC mostly generating their offense based on clears and corner kicks.
And now, long ball upfield. Clipfell won't nearly get there in time. So we got about 4 minutes change and a little bit of stoppage time. I imagine at least a couple of minutes after the Roper injury. And, of course, as we can see here, Roper able to remain in the match and seems to have shaken off any ill effects on the collision that he had earlier.
Yep. And was actually an offsides there on Clipwell.
Firebacher. And there to meet it with the forehead is Muchikian. Now tapped up the right side. Avery with it now, trying to shake loose of Bayer. Muchikian there defensively to take on Oliver Paisley.
And Muchikian is really a Swiss Army knife there defensively. You know, he has the height to head balls, but even there we saw him with his speed, his long stride to get there in time to knock that ball away.
Out of bounds, it'll be an Osprey, it'll be actually a Panther throw. And Gia sends it middle. Little give and go action there and tapped away by Larson.
The PCC players there are calling for a handball. I'm not sure if that's what they actually call it, but it looks like it's going to be a corner kick for PCC.
So for the Panthers, this will be their third of the first half. And again, knowing that Osprey defense and what they expect, you can imagine they're taking a good survey of their marks. Ball ends up bouncing to the far side of the pitch. Quickly cleared by the Ospreys. Now get a counter going. And Clipfell.
Yeah, that pass just a little too far for Clipfell to catch up to.
And I tell you what, a very fast surface here at Gary H. Wheeler Field. Once that ball takes a couple of bounces off of this turf, it's going.
Yeah, which is a little strange because most games played on grass, but this stadium is interesting in that it's turf.
Here, Ngia sends it back. Avery. They're going to spread the field as Roper looks to send it away. There with the header is Larson. Now big boot up the pitch. Bounces away. Muchikian there also is Firebacher.
And then we saw Muchikian use his large frame to shield away Firebacher.
Couple of big guys doing action now, trying to run onto the ball for the Ospreys as Melgar. Melgar with the cross, looking toward the middle. Clip fell there, but cleared out by the Panthers. They'll send it middle. Larson. Estaniki. Now through ball. They were looking for Clipfell. Couldn't quite deliver. Now the left-footed kick, but there to knock it away is Roper for the Panthers.
What an athletic dive from Roper there. That ball was slotted to go to top left corner, and sure, did not have the power, which allowed Roper to get to it, but that is still an amazing save.
So we got a set-piece opportunity for the Ospreys, the corner kick. 4 for RCC here in the match thus far. Ball in traffic, and it bounces around, and Portland trying to clear, but there's Clipfell. Works his way through traffic, and across the face of it, goal it goes, and it is out.
Narrow angle there for Clipfell. Tried to slot it in, but it ended up being too wide to the left.
Fans Road Credit Union is your partner in your financial journey and is proud to partner with Table Rock Sports each year to bring you coverage of your favorite teams. And thank you to Avista Utilities in Southern Oregon for over 15 years in support of our local sports coverage. Race to the ball, Bayer and Paisley fighting for it. Donnelly with it now. Donnelly, control. Now Bayer will cross it, switch the field. Estaniki being tied up there defensively. Also, we have a man down.
Yeah, that's going to be Muchikian. Looks like he collided with Paisley over there near the center field.
And while he's down and teammates check on him, little conversation going on right now between Estaniki and the head referee.
Looks like a few Ospreys are in there talking to the head referee.
Pleading their case. And Michael rolling onto his back. And Michael.
Paisley giving him a brief apology. Looks like everything's good between them.
Shaking it off, and now we'll go ahead and Larson, and we got whistle stopping play. Looks like they're going to do this again. Into stoppage time now here for the first half. Probably at least got a couple more minutes to go. Donnelly through ball looking for Melgar. Anebo again been huge for the Panthers here in the first half. Clears it out.
Excellent entry pass by Donnelly for Melgar, but once again, Nebo was there. But he did take it out, so it will be a corner kick for the Ospreys.
Kick in front of the net. Clip fell. Good deflection there defensively. And the Panthers dodge danger here late in the first half.
They certainly dodged a bullet. That looked like to me that was actually saved by Evan Faulkner and not Roper.
Right. So good heads-up play by the Panther defense, who have been equal to the task in terms of taking on the Ospreys. Calco with the ball. Works it left side for Bayer. Bayer, the lefty boot up field. Faulkner to the rescue. But there's Estaniki, Duarte, and he scores.
And that was an excellent pass by Estaniki to get it to Duarte. Led him right in front of that defender, and he just drove by. And when it's one-on-one that close, the goalie, you're just praying that he misses.
So here we see the replay. The lefty kick, nice pass. And he managed to get the keeper, Roper, off of his line. Brings it home.
And that's the composure that you want to see from Duarte there. You didn't freak out, didn't put too much power in it, just placed it perfectly.
So the Ospreys here, late in the first half, take the 1-0 lead, equaling the score from the last two matches for RCC. Sometimes one is enough, and it had us with the defense that the Ospreys have played with this year.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Ospreys one of the best defensive teams in all of the NWAC. So one goal, you're right. Sometimes it is enough.
Oh, hear the whistle blow, and that will take us to the intermission. Thanks to a late goal from Jesus Duarte, the Ospreys take the 1-0 halftime lead. Did you know that the City of Medford is the largest provider of community recreation classes, programs, and sports leagues in Southern Oregon? Check out the fall program guide for hundreds of offerings at playmedford.com. We'll have the Medford Parks and Rec halftime report coming your way right after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
Discover the Crater Advantage at Crater Car Wash today. Scan the QR code and sign up for your free $18 wash. Crater Car Wash. Clean. Dry. Fast.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind? Or discovering a place that feeds your hunger? Where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore. So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
Discover the Crater Advantage at Crater Car Wash today. Scan the QR code and sign up for your free $18 wash. Crater Car Wash. Clean. Dry. Fast.
Just kind of
The Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Medford Superstore wants to buy your vehicle. So we'll beat any other dealer's offer to buy your vehicle by $500. And if we don't buy your vehicle, we'll fill up your gas tank. Only at Lithia Dodge.
Luxurious Karastan flooring. The flooring you need to live beautifully. It's time to enjoy savings with style during the National Karastan Month Journey into Savings event. Get a free Karastep carpet cushion and capture the lowest prices of the season with every purchase. And ask about special zero-interest financing during National Karastan Month, exclusively at both Lippert's Carpet One locations, Medford and Grants Pass.
The Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Medford Superstore wants to buy your vehicle. So we'll beat any other dealer's offer to buy your vehicle by $500. And if we don't buy your vehicle, we'll fill up your gas tank. Only at Lithia Dodge.
Welcome back to the Medford Parks and Recreation halftime report. Jim McCoy, along with Justin Young, our special guest here in town this weekend, visiting his buddy Dustin Donnelly. And right now, if you're an Osprey fan, you have to like the way that things are going. That we've talked a little bit about how the first half is gone, that we've seen some back and forth, some ebb and flow in the match. But the big highlight, the one that ended up putting the Ospreys on the board, is this nice play late here in the first half.
Yeah, and we see a nice entry pass from Eseniki, and then as we see here, Duarte slots it perfectly. He takes sole possession of second place on the Ospreys goal leader with 4 this season.
Duarte, another one of those sophomores that will be honored coming up on Wednesday. He's had been one of those guys that has been instrumental in the Ospreys' success. One of the odd things I think about soccer, there's not an abundance of stats or maybe some of the metrics that you see in other sports, but nonetheless, you know that even if, say, he doesn't have this really gaudy goal count, nonetheless, he has been valuable to Coach Greg Millick and the team.
Absolutely, and soccer is one of those sports, unlike baseball, probably, where it's all about the eye test, you know. And you see Duarte here, maybe only 4 goals, but he started every single game this year for the Ospreys, and their record speaks for themselves.
Absolutely. Well, talk a little bit about some of your observations from the first half, having a good full half of soccer to watch these two teams play.
Yeah, we saw it early in the first half. You know, it felt like the Ospreys were really, really pushing the offensive tempo. You know, Robbie Guerrero, RG, Portland's finest. You know, he started the game, and they were doing decent for a little bit, but then it's feel like they kind of lost their steam a little bit, and that's when we saw PCC with some quality shots from their side, their attacking side. And then another in-game adjustment from Coach Greg Millett, subbing in Mason Klipfel and Dustin Donnelly, and that's when their offense started to get back up. We saw the save from Faulkner, we saw a leaping save from Roper, and then eventually we see that Duarte is able to slot one in there.
They kept knocking on the door, and they finally kicked it down. Well, I always think what's interesting about it, obviously those guys are valuable as starters, but if you gain one thing coming off the bench, you have the chance to watch the match unfold, maybe begin to identify some matchup advantages as you go along, and maybe just find some of those holes in the defense. And certainly I think they did a lot to really energize the team late in the first half.
Yeah, and it was really Klipfel with his speed. We see him streaking down the side of the field, and he seems like a man on a mission today.
All right. Well, we're at the half, and we invite you to stick around. We're going to take a look at what's going on Osprey Sports. Justin Young here last night had an opportunity with some of the players from the RCC men's soccer team, watch the volleyball team in action. So we'll talk a little bit about that. The volleyball squad back in action today, and we'll take a look at the upcoming calendar, and we'll have all of that for you coming right up.
Enjoy Abby's Pizza at your place. Close your eyes and you can taste old-fashioned values, classic pizza parlor decor, and generations of tradition. Recreate that magic. Open your eyes and head to abbys.com. With pickup and delivery options, no matter where you dine, Abby's just tastes better.
When you work with Hart Insurance Agency, you'll experience the quality service and attention to detail that you'll only find with an independent insurance agency. Hart Insurance Agency was founded in 1947 and is one of the largest independent, locally owned agencies in Southern Oregon, with offices in Grants Pass and Medford. Their experienced team of agents have the knowledge to design, place, and to manage your personal and business insurance plans. Find out more. Visit hartinsurance.com.
Here's a good-looking pizza, guaranteed to bring some smiles. And right now, it's on sale, so it's good for your wallet, too. This giant is loaded with toppings and can feed up to 6 people. Order at abbys.com. Give us a call, or just drop by. Only at Abby's Legendary Pizza.
For over 50 years, each day has started with a smile, a helping hand, and a promise to be there when you need us most. Delivering on that promise are our hard-working, dedicated employees. At Sherms, we're proud to be an essential part of our community and look forward to keeping our selection, quality, and value where our customers deserve for many years to come. Sherms Food for Less and Thunderbird Market.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Welcome back here to Gary H. Wheeler Field. The sun coming up after a rainy morning, things beginning to dry out, and as you can see from the scoreboard, RCC taking the 1-0 lead on a late goal by Jesus Duarte on a nice feed. So the Ospreys feeling good about that, and another squad that should really be feeling good, and they're going to be back in action today, is the Osprey women's volleyball team. You had a chance to watch them play last night. Tell us about it, Justin.
Yeah, it was their pink out game for breast cancer awareness, which was very nice, and really they came out with intensity. They took an early lead that they did not relinquish as they swept all 3 sets. And what I mostly saw from them was, once again, kind of like this soccer team, is their camaraderie. Everyone's cheering on everyone as they make their plays. They seem like another group of tight-knit individuals.
Well, right now, this afternoon, they'll be back in action looking for their 15th victory in a row. They're really on an incredible run right now. Now, if you happen to be local to the Medford area, we invite you to go down to the courthouse up on North Phoenix Road and watch the Ospreys as they take on Clackamas at 2 o'clock. And if you can't, well, that'll be provided on TableRockSports.net, and you have an opportunity to follow the action there. Meanwhile, the women's soccer team is in action today as well, going on right now. The women are over at Southwest Oregon Community College, and let me see here. Yeah, that just got underway about the same time as ours. So, I don't know. I guess knowing what we know about the Panthers now and how they play, and thinking toward the second half, if you're Coach Maestretti and company, what are you thinking about trying to figure out a way to equalize this and break out ahead and play spoiler?
I think they need to be more aggressive in the center of the field. If guys like Larson are able to get these entry passes in to guys like Clipfell and Donnelly, it's going to be a long day for PCC. And it's interesting to note is that goal was so late that they didn't really have a chance to kind of like rebound from it. They had this long break to think about it. So we'll definitely see what their intensity is looking like after this break.
Well, I also want to remind you on the upcoming schedule that the RCC men will be back in action on Wednesday at home. It will be Sophomore Recognition Day. And taking a look at the schedule here. Okay, I got the volleyball schedule here, so let's try to get over here to the men's soccer schedule. It'll be Wednesday against Klamath Community College, and that match, again, will be here at Gary H. Wheeler Field. And the time on that, I'll double check for you. I believe the time on that is going to be 2 o'clock, and it's at 12 o'clock. And again, they'll be against Klamath Falls. I mentioned that the volleyball team in action later on this afternoon. Also on Wednesday, the women's soccer team will be at home taking on Chemeketa. That match will be going on at 2 o'clock. And then the next match for the volleyball team will come up on Friday as they have a road date with Lane. We're just a few minutes away from the beginning of the second half. The Ospreys with a 1-0 lead. We'll be back after these messages.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life? Now's the time to call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This has been my profession for 30 plus years now. I really love my work. We try to source as many ingredients as we can as local as possible, like local fruits and vegetables. We have a menu like you would find in any nice restaurant. We don't make it until you order it, so everything will be coming out fresh. We do have wonderful desserts here as well. Every day you have 5 or 6 options as far as a fresh dessert go. People are bringing their friends and family and wanting to show off what we have here to offer.
Come take a tour of Twin Creeks and meet our award-winning.
The Medford Parks and Recreation Department invites you to the Rogue Credit Union Community Complex for open swim, drop-in sports, and sports leagues, and see the events taking place at RogueXMedford.com. Join the fun at Rogue X. We'll get set here for the beginning of the second half, and that will also include updating our display clock. The Panthers retaking the pitch. In terms of looking at personnel, looks like Clipfell remaining in the match. And it looks like we got Donnelly over on the left. So they'll remain in the match. And of course, the nice thing about it at the college level, that if you come into the you come out of the match, you can always go back in. Unlike the pros, where once you come off the pitch, you're off for the remainder of the match.
Hit the showers afterwards.
I got the scoreboard clock set. We're ready to go here. Estaniki, Duarte, and the second half is underway.
Interesting. Apologies. Interesting to note that it looks like the Panthers are going without Anebo there on the pitch, which is interesting. He was one of the better defenders from the first half. Looks like they're going to a different direction here in the second half.
Yeah, we got Faulkner there as the center back now with Firebacher on the left side. Melgar, little diagonal shot, and that will end up bouncing harmlessly out of play if you happen to be a Panther fan.
Little early opportunity there for RCC. Not the touch that Melgar wanted, but we'll see how he plays the rest of the match.
Ball booted out of the back, and Paisley there, but running onto it is Larson. Larson going to send it back, and back there for the Panthers is number 39, Daniel Asiev. Be an Osprey throw in. Kalka switches fields. Muchakian there. Straight up the middle he goes, looking for Estaniki. Estaniki, meanwhile, looking for Ibarra, but it is broken up by the Panthers. Firebacher looking for Ngia. Melgar and Estaniki around the ball, and there with a little slide tackle is Jesus Duarte.
Duarte just doing his best there to not give possession to PCC.
Firebacher throw in. Muchakian breaking it up. High pop-up kick. And now this will be booted way upfield as they look for Paisley. Paisley getting away from the defender, and the diagonal look wide of the far post, and out it goes.
Yeah, Paisley was able to get the best of Donnelly there, but his shot was far left.
Kalka and the Osprey back line working it out. Larson with the through ball, looking in the direction of Klipfel. Estaniki there, Klipfel. Klipfel runs onto it, sends it inside to Estaniki, and then he'll lay it off. Ball bounces around. Melgar there. Klipfel going 1v1 with Firebacher. He ends up falling to the turf.
It looked for a moment there that Klipfel was going to be able to get around Firebacher, but Firebacher with the penalty there to make sure that he does not do that.
And so that'll set up the free kick. And it looks like we got Larson there along with Ibarra. Open space in front of the net. And now in the middle of the pitch is Estaniki, as Tapia keeps an eye on him.
Looks like the ref instructing the PCC defenders what to do in the situation on the free kick.
Three-man wall set up for the Panthers. Here's the kick.
Oh, and that's just
it. Wow! How about that?
That is an amazing shot from Severin Larson.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we got to take a look at that one. Oh, my God. He just got it inside, just inside the far post.
It looked like Roper thought it was going wide, but as we'll see here, the kick from Larson, yeah, he just kind of gave up. That was a terrible decision there from Roper, but...
My goodness. So the Ospreys end up taking the 2-0 lead. Dare I say, on an improbable goal by Severin Larson?
I don't think that's one that anybody was expecting, but RCC is going to take that every day of the week.
So that'll give them a 2-0 lead, and the way this defense has performed in the year, you got to be feeling pretty good if you're Coach Greg Millick and company about your chances down the stretch in terms of securing that win.
Yeah, Wanty hasn't even had that many opportunities to defend, and we see this Portland team, they've only had 100 shots all year, averaging about 10 shots a game compared to Rogues about 12.
Here, Feuerbacher going to take care of the throw-in. And it deflected off of Klipfel. Melgar also there for RCC. Try to weave through traffic, broken up by the Ospreys. Now the through ball. Little push and shove, and I don't think any real surprise on the result of the play there.
No. We saw Paisley doing a little bit too much there in the offensive half, trying to get past three guys. Does not work out well for him, but thankfully for him, Klipfel commits the foul on the play, and no harm is done.
So way down deep. Ball will be... There's going to be a throw-in for the Panthers. Travis Avery on the throw. Ball knocked around. Oh, that one almost in and out.
Unprecedented shot. I don't think anybody thought he was going to shoot that, but Wanty lucky that bounces right off the post.
Yeah. Wow, what a start to the second half we've had. The goal by the Ospreys on the free kick, and then right there, the Panthers almost put one in the back of the net and just bounces off the post.
Both teams really upping the ante here in the second half.
Kauka, Bayer over there, pressured by the Panthers. Starting to feel a little bit of that now.
And they know down 2 against this good Ospreys team, they're going to need to strike and strike fast.
Fighting for the ball, Melgar. And a little tumble, little contact between the two players. Foul called against the Panthers. Nothing terribly egregious, just part of the play.
It's Feuerbacher again really getting in on the defensive side of things.
In the middle of the pitch, there is Ibarra for RCC. Duarte with it. They'll kick it around the yard. Larson now looking for the through ball, and that's one of the things that Klipfel with his speed gives you. You kick it out there and see what he can do with it if he can run onto it. Klipfel, they're deflected by number 38, Angel Villalobos Garcia.
And as you mentioned, Klipfel is sort of an instant offense almost for the Ospreys. His speed allows him to create in the offensive half.
Muchikian taking the throw in. Now to Kauka. Up the middle of the pitch. Larson. A little bit of a kind of a step over move. Now Duarte with it. And one of the things I like as we watch this little run here by the Ospreys is their ball control.
Yeah, they're really being methodical about it. No pass is unintentional.
There, the bouncing ball. Roper will field it. Sends it out for Jordan Zapata. Up the left side he goes to Otto Paisley. Broken up. Kauka there. Mowanthi looking for Bayer. And here's Dustin Donnelly out on that left wing. Looking for his man Klipfel. And yeah, it ended up just rolling over the line.
Almost the perfect pass from Donnelly there, but it was to no avail.
So Portland on the move. They'll send it back to Faulkner, Feuerbacher. And Melgar getting a boot in there. And Portland, though, managing to maintain possession of it. They'll look up the left side. Avery over there.
Looks like a little bit of confusion there on who that was out on. Ends up going the Panthers' way.
Portland ball, but they're breaking it up. For RCC is Severin Larson. Faulkner. Left to Firebacher. Mucha King going to run that down.
And we're seeing a little shift in the pace of play here. It's being a little slower here early in the second half after that goal from Larson.
Duarte. Now up line, Larson. They'll go left side now to Bayer. But I'll tell you what, if you're out on that pitch for the Ospreys, you're going to touch the ball.
Yeah, they're really emphasizing passing and having that create opportunities for them.
Now we got a man down for Portland. We haven't seen any yellow cards issued, or we have a booking here. Well, what we do have is a little discussion about the contact on the play. And this is where we'll have to see. We'll have to do something in the budget and appeal to Joe to mic the players up. Or maybe that's not the best idea in the world, knowing how some of those conversations can go.
Yeah. You know, might have to even up the budget even more to hire someone to maybe tape delay it and censor anything if necessary.
There you go. All right, man down. That's Avery for Portland. Looks like he's going to go ahead and come off. Doesn't look too worse for wear, but maybe just going to earn a well-deserved breather here. And man coming on, it looks like we got Santiago Carrillo.
And Avery is not someone that Portland really wants to lose right now. Started all 10 games for them.
And right now, a little bit of contact and some, maybe perhaps some gamesmanship, but we do see a yellow card issued to RCC.
And I believe that was Kobe Ibarra earning the yellow card there, pleading his case to the refs. Ref not really wanting to hear it currently.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you said your piece, now go away. Not changing the call.
It's starting to come down a bit again. It was nice and sunny for a little bit, but the clouds have come back, and so has the rain.
So now we have a set-piece opportunity, free kick. We got Ngia over there, wearing number 12. Also over there is Paisley. Mewanthi setting up his defense. 4-man wall for the Ospreys.
And that is different to PCC's 3-man wall. We'll see how much that comes into play here. Interesting to note that their tallest player, Muchakian, is not part of that wall. They really want him close to the goal line just in case it gets past them.
And the ball knocked away.
I believe it was kicked over the net. It'll be a goal kick here for Wanty.
So the Ospreys dodge a bullet here as the Panthers try to get off the schneid here in the second half. Yeah, rain's starting to come down pretty good. It rained throughout much of the morning, and as Justin mentioned, we had a brief little period of time where it was pretty nice for a while.
It was beautiful outside.
Not the case now.
And if you're PCC, that really stinks to lose that opportunity with that free kick sending it over. You know, you're already down 2. Your season's already over. You're being desperate, and it does not fall your way.
So here it is Tapia. He is looking in the direction of Oliver Paisley. Oliver's 33, and Otto is 34. High through ball off the head of Klipfel. Ibarra sends it back to Klipfel. Klipfel running onto it. Gets knocked away by Faulkner. Right there on the edge of the penalty box, but
it's like no call was made. Yeah, that is another excellent defensive play from Faulkner. He's really been kind of the saving grace so far for PCC.
Well, and again, different officials are going to call things differently, and they're letting the players play today.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, I think for a lot of fans, that's their preference.
That is definitely the preference. They do not want to see a lot of stoppage time.
Well, and on top of it, I mean, and it's always interesting. I always laugh when I hear somebody who's not much of a soccer person refer to soccer as a non-contact sport. It's like, tell me you haven't watched much soccer without telling me you haven't watched much soccer.
Yeah.
But there's a certain amount of contact they'll let you have, and then there's a point where it crosses the line, and a lot of it have to do with what the youth coaches will call chicken winging and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But otherwise, and you have a right to fight for the ball.
Yeah, and there is a stigma with some people who don't watch soccer who thinks the players are just flopping all the time, and that we have seen here that is clearly not the case. There has been some collisions that have warranted the time spent on the ground.
Right. Well, the difference being they don't have all that padding on, so they don't take that as a, you'll collide with somebody, but you won't take it as a license to use yourself as a battering ram on them. So we're into the 62nd minute of the match. RCC on a nice free kick and then a late first half goal up front, 2-0. And we've talked about that this Panther team more defensive minded, so they certainly find themselves in a spot that they don't want to be in, although there's still plenty of time to bag a couple of goals and make things interesting.
Yeah, they are not out of this by any stretch of the imagination, but if you're Coach Mastretti, this is not how you wanted the game to go currently.
Duarte with it, and there is Oliver Paisley for the Panthers. We want to thank Sherm's Thunderbird and Food for Less in Southern Oregon for 30 years of sponsorship with Table Rock Sports. Great community partners. If you shop at Sherm's, they will save you money. Panther ball, Ibarra with it. Now taken away by Otto Paisley. Now they'll feed over to Oliver. Up the line he goes, and now to Ngia. He's looking to deliver the through ball. And a little collision there between players. Nothing much comes out of it. Firebacher with it now from the left side. Looking toward the middle, and Kauka there.
Yeah, it looks like just for everything PCC has tried to do, the Ospreys have had people there to defend it.
Here with the ball now, Ngia. They'll try to weave through it, maintain possession. Now toward the middle of the pitch. Ball high in the air, wide of the target. Firebacher making his way toward the ball. And it looks like we're going to have Villalobos with the corner kick.
Like Kauka's down for RCC currently.
Raising his head up, and looks like are they calling for a trainer or no, he's back up. He's good.
Yep, he's a resilient man.
He's a tough guy. I tell you what, another one of those guys in terms of the archetype, maybe not the tallest center back you'll ever see, but definitely built like an oak.
Absolutely.
Here goes the corner kick. Ball in the air. Ball bounces away. And
that is another missed opportunity for PCC. They couldn't even get a quality shot off, and it just trickles to the back line. It'll be a goal kick from Mwanthi.
Xander Mwanthi sends it over to the right side, and he's been great in the net for the Ospreys this season.
He's been a huge part of their defensive success. We know Muchikian, but nothing gets by Mwanthi much.
That's for sure. And now here we have Ricky with the ball. He's back in the match, and an offsides call as the flag comes up from the AR as Mason Klipfeld tries to run onto it.
And that time his speed was his detriment. Gets too fast.
Too fast for his own good. So now Firebacher will get ready. Now they're going to go ahead and let Faulkner take care of it. Upfield, Duarte with the header. Knocks it out of bounds. Looks like we got a couple of subs coming on for the Panthers. One of the guys coming in is Francisco Sanchez. And also coming on, 29, Alexis Grimaldo.
Yeah, looks like Paisley coming out of the game.
Colton Treadway, our cameraman, with the eagle eye there.
Interesting they're subbing out Paisley. He's been their leading scorer all year.
Maybe try to give him a little bit of a breather, but I would imagine if they're thinking about trying to get back in this one, he won't be out long. Villalobos delivers it right side as Asiev gets a touch on it.
And Klipfel again is offside.
So that back line for Portland playing a little bit higher.
Yeah, and that is a good counter to Klipfel's speed.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's some teams in terms of their tactics that playing that high line, of course, I think you always got, a lot of it's so dependent on your personnel.
Of course.
If you get the guys who can quickly recover, you'll probably feel a little bit bolder about that tactic than you do if guys can't get back and, the player is indeed onside. It'll be a corner kick for Portland Community College. They'll try to fire it into the middle. Ball knocked around. Mwanthi off his line. And the Panthers score.
Yeah, we saw Mwanthi there really out of position. He goes for the early save, but he does not recover in time. And I did not quite see who was able to slot it in for PCC. That's why I believe it was Francisco Sanchez. The substitution already paying dividends for PCC.
All right, so now this match looks a little different than it did before.
Yeah, they're back in the game just with one. And that was interesting. They for their corner kick, they did a tactic that they did not do previously. They kicked it in short first, then they got it back to Nagia, and then with his center led to the opportunity for Sanchez.
So it's a 2-1 match and 22 minutes left. And now here's the Panthers with the steal. Ball popped up high in the air. Battle for it between Larson and the recent substitute Grimaldo. So it's 2-1 now in the 69th minute of the match. And, of course, we're going to go 90 plus stoppage. Ball up the middle. RCC now playing maybe with a little bit of a spring in the step that they didn't have when it was 2-0. You don't want to let this team off the ropes.
And we see it already there with we see it there with Ricky with a little added intensity in the center field.
So we'll ratchet it back up, and it is Portland with the throw. Grimaldo trying to settle it, can't control it. Muchakian shields the player, and the contact deemed a little excessive, and so now Osprey's trying to set it upfield for Klipfel, but Faulkner there. And Gia sends it right. Santiago Carrillo, number 25, over there across from us. Donnelly, little slide tackle there, and they're going to say it was last touched by the Ospreys. They'll quickly get it away, and once again, Donnelly there to deflect, and I'll give everybody a chance to get settled back into position. It looks like Faulkner is going to come out for a breather now, and he has been, or actually that is Paisley, Otto Paisley, coming out, and then returning is Ivan Tapia.
And there we see, as you mentioned earlier, a player subbing out of the game coming back in the same game.
And now substitution on for the Ospreys. And looks like we've got Ravi Guerrero in for the Ospreys wearing number 19. So a few substitutions now, and you figure again with about 19 minutes in stoppage left, that still plenty of time probably for some of those guys that are running out of gas, give them a chance to catch their breath and rehydrate and get back in for the final push.
Yeah, as you mentioned, soccer is a game of runs, and all it takes is one late run for PCC, and this game's going to be tied, potentially ending in a draw.
We welcome back Lippert's Carpet One of Medford and Grants Pass, State Farm Agent Rory Wold of Medford, and Crater Car Wash in the Rogue Valley. We thank you for partnering with Table Rock Sports again in 2025. 3 great additions to our sponsor roster. Well, certainly we see how quickly things turn. Now that suddenly that miss that deflected off the post, if you're Portland, you got to think, man, this could be all tied up right now.
Yeah, and you think about all their other opportunities. They've had a lot of corner kicks that didn't go their way, but they're definitely happy with their position with at least it being 2-1 instead of potentially 2-0.
Firebacher sends it in toward the middle. There with the header is Kauka. And there is Villalobos with it. Tries to send it up the middle. Grimaldo. Whew! And there, that one just left of the left post. And now another corner kick for the Panthers, who've had a run of them here in the second half.
Yeah, Grimaldo generating an insane amount of power with his left foot there, even without any momentum towards the goal. Wanthi is able to read the ball out of his foot and make the save.
So Villalobos lost it into traffic over there on the far side. Momentarily cleared by the Ospreys, but now getting a foot on it. Looks like that was Ricky over there.
I believe that was actually Donnelly.
All right. And now a foot race to the ball. There's Ricky, and now out of bounds. It'll be an Osprey throw. Well, they cross me up from time to time, Ricky and Donnelly. I'm sure if you see them up close, you'd say these two look nothing alike. But you see that lighter color hair out there, and you think, oh, no, that was Donnelly. Portland controlling it here. A little bit of momentum on their side. Firebacher surveying the pitch. Short pass. And then Zapata. Here's kick upfield, and Mwanthi there. Up the left side, looking for Donnelly. There's Klipfel with it now. He controls. He gets position on the defender. Up the middle. Nice pass there to Guerrero, who dishes off for Ricky.
Yeah, it looks like the Ospreys here try and get their offensive attack set up.
Playing some possession soccer here. Ricky. Now some pressure. Get those Panthers running here. Duarte, who had the opening goal of the game for the Ospreys late in the first half.
Yeah, it looks like the Ospreys are really playing to the passive defense from PCC here.
Now, Ricky going to try to force the action a little bit and tries to work it toward the middle. Broken up by Portland. man down. Guerrero for the Ospreys. So he'll get back up. Portland tried to go on the tack. There's Sanchez trying to go 1v2. Portland throw. And there's Sanchez up the right wing, defended by Bayer. Good clearance there by Muchakian.
And we were seeing an attack there from PCC, finally getting some shots on goal that they desperately needed. Of course, that one is booted over the tall fence and out of the stadium.
76th minute of the match. Portland playing with the spring in their step here as they try to get the equalizer.
Yeah. They see they're in a one-goal game with one of the NWAC's best teams. They want to strike while the iron's hot.
Mwanthe, high kick. And Ricky tried to get onto it there. There's Melgar, and now racing, keeping himself on sides is Mason Klipfel. He'll go ahead and send it middle, looking in the direction of Donnelly, but just a little far forward with the pass.
Yeah. And something I'm noticing with Sammy Bayer there is that during these kind of plays where he's not really running or doing anything, he's holding his hands in his sleeves. I think the cold is and the wetness is getting to some of these players.
Well, definitely made a change. Colton and I can think back to earlier in the season where it's about 90 degrees out, and poor Colton working outside the press box is dealing with the heat coming off the metal bleachers. And what a change from that to where we are now.
Yeah, and this soccer season is unique. We don't know how many other sports have to deal with this in the elements.
Here, Panthers, Feuerbacher, trying to set something up here. Nice little backheel pass there from Tapia. Muchakian clears it. Larson with it now, looking up the pitch. And Klipfel with a nice touch on the ball. But right there with them is Faulkner.
Faulkner is playing excellent defense, individual defense on Klipfel. Those two have been battling it out here in the second half.
Feuerbacher getting set for the throw-in. Tapia was the man he was looking for, but it's knocked out, and it'll be Osprey ball. And I think probably if you're Coach Millick, you find out here how long 12 minutes can be.
And add that to the players as well, add that to all the fans, especially with PCC being a little bit more aggressive here in these later minutes, that 12 minutes can feel like 30.
Yes. And here, Bayer lets it roll out of bounds. It will be an Osprey throw. Sammy directing traffic. Looking for Donnelly. Doesn't quite get there, and they'll do this again.
That's a smart play there from Sammy. He lets the touch from PCC go out of the back line so that it's a goal kick rather than a throw-in.
So Mwanthe will survey the pitch. Delivers for Kauka, Larson, Duarte, Bayer. They'll send this one around the yard, and now out of the back it goes. They're looking for Klipfel. Guerrero trying to chase it down, being shielded off by Villalobos, and out of bounds it will go, and it will be a Panther throw. Directing traffic. And here's the kick, and it rolls away, and Tapia trying to angle one in, and away it goes. And probably if you're an Osprey fan, this is a little close for comfort.
Yeah, and this is completely different than what we saw at the end of the first half and the start of the second half. PCC has been attacking the ball. Thankfully for Osprey fans, Mwanthe is able to recover quickly, shield off that angle, force the pass, and that shot was sent about like 30 feet above the goal.
Osprey ball, Melgar with it. He'll go ahead and feed a nice pass there to Duarte. Threads the needle there. Now Melgar back on it. Has Ricky upfield. Ricky's going to go ahead and take a race to the ball. Has it on the right wing. Looking for a possible cross, but it is cleared out. Now here's Melgar with it. Melgar in traffic. He'll send it back to Guerrero. Guerrero with the cross. Donnelly. And it'll go off his forehead and out of bounds.
Yeah, not the touch that Donnelly wanted, but that was an insane deflection from Daniel Asiev, able to stop that attack from Ricky.
So Panthers will boot it out, and this is going to go upfield. Bear will shepherd it out of bounds. For almost 50 years, Bill's Glass has been the clear choice in Southern Oregon for your home, vehicle, or business needs. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass supports our schools and communities. RCC throw in. Faulkner sends it left for Feuerbacher. He goes up line to Tapia. And here the ever-present Mason Klipfel.
His stamina has impressed me incredibly. He was like this in the first half. He's still going with 10 minutes left, plus stoppage time in the second half.
And here it is, the Ospreys, and they try to look toward the middle and Ricky, but it is broken up by Portland. Running onto it, and now Tapia with it. Muchikian trying to get back for RCC. 1v1 battle going on there. Melgar there with the defense. Melgar in the middle, but it is broken up as he looks for Guerrero. Larson looking middle, and a foul committed by Feuerbacher. Committed against Rex Ricky. No, free kick for the Rogue Ospreys.
Excellent job there from Larson to get the ball out of there, try to get to Ricky. Ricky draws the foul from Feuerbacher. It's like some jawing going back and forth from the teams.
Oh, yes. What's a match if you aren't talking a little gang here and there?
Especially in close competitive match.
Absolutely. Comes with the territory. Larson with the, I believe that was Larson there with the header. Now Tapia going to try to run onto it, and Muchikian gaining a head of steam there, and it's going to roll out. It will be an Osprey throw.
Another missed opportunity for PCC there. If Tapia is able to corral that ball, get possession, they could potentially be looking at a shot attempt, but gets past them, throw in for the Ospreys.
Muchikian, throw in, and there's Ricky. Duarte, Larson threads the needle there. Now Guerrero's going to try to run onto it, but he won't get there in time. Instead, looks like Avery will take care of the throw-in for Portland.
Substitution for PCC. Looks like Otto Paisley is going to check back into the game.
And it'll be Sanchez who comes out. And if our eyes are correct, it was Sanchez who scored there in heavy traffic to put the Panthers on the board.
Yeah, and that really kind of changed the momentum of this game.
It really has. I mean, you know, it was a situation where the Ospreys looked to be kind of cruising along, and now here you have a team to fight to draw it up. Out of bounds on the play. It'll be a throw-in for the Ospreys. Clip fell there. Guerrero, he's getting some good playing time here in the second half. He controls. Sends it up. Donnelly, and the flag comes up on the offsides.
Another offside for Klipfel. Unfortunately, with the speed, you get the offside that come with it.
Discover the vibrant lifestyle at Twin Creeks Retirement in Central Point. Enjoy spacious apartments, gourmet dining, and enriching activities in a welcoming community. Learn more at TwinCreeksRetirement.com. Time running down, but there's still enough of it left to affect the result of this match. And here on the clearance, Kauka boots it high in the air. Donnelly gets a boot on it. Now it's popped up. Klipfel fighting for it there. Also there, Asiev. And Gia. Now here is Klipfel. Klipfel slows up and the ball out of bounds.
I believe that was a foul there, much to the dismay of the PCC players. Be a free kick for the Ospreys.
Free kick, and now here's Klipfel with it. Working against the defender and Avery, and looks like we got a whistle-stopping play and a free kick.
Another foul called on PCC. Klipfel not happy with it.
It looks like Ricky over there and Larson. Larson going to go ahead and, I got this.
Looking like it's going to be another three-man wall for PCC. Did not work out great the last time, but we'll see its effectiveness here on this free kick.
And you guys see those big targets there for RCC. Muchakian, Donnelly with some pretty good length. High kick into traffic, and it is cleared away by the Panthers. Upfield it goes, and there is Otto Paisley with it. Looking up the right side to Avery. Avery to Tapia. And there with the slide tackle is Kauka.
And that saved a potential goal. PCC had two attackers sprinting down near the goal line.
Panthers had a great counter going there. Now ball shielded and deflected. Ricky trying to clear. Firebacher. And he just misses on that. That was a banger, as they say.
Yeah, that did not expect the fire coming from Firebacher's left foot there. Wanthy a little fired up after it. Would be a goal kick for him.
Mwanthy getting set to kick it. High kick toward the middle of the pitch. Villalobos there along with Klipfel. And Gia. Avery. And now Bear will head it out of bounds. This allowed the defense a chance to get back. Panthers bringing numbers forward as well.
We enter the 88th minute plus stoppage time to come. Really see what both of these teams are made of here in the final minutes.
Here racing on to it. Klipfel loses sight of it for a second, but there is Ricky, and I believe that is Donnelly over there to the left. Donnelly trying to work past the defender Faulkner, and then there takes a tumble, and no call on the play, and that'll end up bouncing out and out of bounds.
Looks like Donnelly is still down for the Ospreys. Another good defensive play by Faulkner there. It's really been sort of holding this PCC team together, at least defensively.
He has delivered for the Panthers, no question about that. Donnelly slow to get up. And he'll stay down for a second. And while he's being tended to, we invite you to check out the new sports voice in Southern Oregon, the Ace Sports Radio, AM 1300, FM 107.9, and streaming live at theacesportsradio.com. 5 live NFL games per week, along with NCAA and SOU football action. Weekdays, it's the Rich Eisen Show, our weekday local show teed up Southern Oregon with Joe Brett and John Canzano with the Bald-Faced Truth, the Ace Sports Radio. Donnelly up on his feet, and he'll come off the pitch. See a substitution in for Portland. That'll be Jacob Tropetz. And I believe we might have James Montaille coming in for RCC. Ball in the air. Tropetz there. Now Avery. Avery going to give that ball a ride upfield. Duarte there with the header. Ricky. Back to Melgar. Melgar upfield. Trying to get there is Klipfel. Melgar able to win it back off the deflection.
And that's another breakup from Faulkner there, stopping that attack before it could even really start.
Klipfel slows himself up knowing he's offsides. Heads up play there. Firebacher with it now, but Melgar battling him for control of the ball. Muchakian, Duarte around the ball. Whistle blows. We're now a minute into stoppage time, except maybe a minute or two more.
Yeah, and that's an excellent play, and perhaps even game-clinching from Duarte there to draw that foul. And Muchakian showing him much love after drawing that call.
Klipfel shielding the ball. Faulkner, who else there? And now it's Duarte with it. Tropetz sends it left. Firebacher. That'll be deflected out of bounds. Now we're really getting close here to the final whistle. And, of course, par for the course, as you would expect. Mwanthi kind of taking his time getting to it as much as they will allow.
There's no sense of urgency or hurry whatsoever from RCC, expectedly.
Throw in. It'll be RCC ball. Klipfel steps aside for Melgar. Klipfel, Melgar. Now he'll try to work his way into traffic. Nice footwork there. And now he makes his way down toward the net. And we have a whistle and a foul called against Portland.
Incredible job by Melgar there to really generate the offense when really the passes weren't working out. He takes it and says, I'll do it myself, and is able to draw. This might even be a penalty kick, I believe.
Looks like they're going to set it up. They say it was in the box. So now we'll see who will get to take care of it. It looks like this is going to be,
I believe it's Bayer.
Sammy Bayer, outside back, going to get an opportunity to put a final stake in the heart of the Panthers.
It'll be his left foot. That will be the difference. And he slots it.
He nails it. And Sammy Bayer gives RCC the 3-1 lead.
That is the dagger for this PCC team. Fought hard all match, but ultimately, really just like the set plays that really did them in. The free kick from Larson and now the penalty kick from Sammy Bayer.
Sammy Bayer makes it a 3-1 match, and we're just about right here at the very end of today's match.
Interesting to note, that was Sammy Bayer's first goal on the season. I'm sure he's ecstatic to get that one through.
Yeah, give the defenders a little love.
Yeah, he's fought hard defensively all game, gets rewarded with the penalty kick opportunity, and makes the most of it.
And we have a whistle. Foul called.
I believe that was another handball.
And so it'll be a free kick for Severin Larson right at midfield. Lefty pooch kick looking in the direction of Clipfell, and that is deflected away there by Roper. Ricky sends it right to Melgar, and there's your whistle. Rogue with the win. With that, they run their league record to 7-1-1 and their overall record to 9-2-2. It's a 3-1 decision against the Portland Community College Panther team that showed a lot of fight today.
Yes, they did. It started in the second half with that goal from Sanchez, but after that, they couldn't quite get the looks that they wanted to. You got to credit RCC defensively, making sure they didn't get any more super quality looks. And also you got to credit sort of the counterattacks from RCC in the second half, and we had Larson there with the free kick. He impressed me the most today. He was kind of being the quarterback of the offense there in the center field, controlling the ball, getting it to his teammates, and in the end, his kick and Bayer's kick ended up being the difference.
So, Rogue Community College, they end up cinching first place in the South region. And we look forward to what the future brings for this team in the weeks to come. Again, want to remind you that coming up on Wednesday, that it'll be sophomore day. So we'll honor those players that, they're in their final stretch of play for RCC, and of course among them Justin, your old buddy Dustin, and so forth. I would be remiss if I didn't let this contest go. Let you talk a little bit about your old friend and teammate. You guys have walked a few miles together over the years.
We have been together for a long time in times of need and whatnot. When I used to play soccer, used to be a goalie, used to play with him on Heat FC in Las Vegas, Nevada. But it was clear as day that he was sort of destined to be a soccer player. It's his one passion in life. He has a tattoo of him playing soccer. It's what he loves to do. And it really sort of breaks my heart seeing him go down there in the second half. He wanted to finish the game, so he's currently getting tended to on the sideline by the athletic trainer, separate from the team. But yeah, he really loves it here in Medford. And it's going to be a little sad for him because he's one of those sophomores. He will be his last year here in Medford.
All right, well, that'll wrap up today's match. Our final score today, Rogue with the 3-1 victory against Portland. And we thank everybody for tuning today. It's been our pleasure. It's been an entertaining match. And Justin Young coming in, special guest commentator. We met up for the first time today, and it's been a pleasure having you here on board with us for the call.
Thank you very much, partner. It's been an honor to be with you, Mr. Jim McCoy.
All right, that's going to wrap things up here. Our executive producer for Table Rock Sports is Joe Brett. For my cameraman, Colton Treadway, and special guest Justin Young, I'm Jim McCoy. Thank you for joining us, and have a great weekend.